Whereas the National Weather Service has indicated that Hurricane Katrina will likely affect the Louisiana coast with tropical force winds and heavy rainfall by this evening, whereas because of anticipated high lakes and marsh tides due to the tidal surge combined with the possibility of intense thunderstorms, hurricane force winds, and widespread severe flooding, Governor Blanco and I, Mayor C. Ray Nagin, have each declared a state of emergency. Every person is hereby ordered to immediately evacuate the city of New Orleans.
To say that Hurricane Katrina changed my life would be an understatement. Before the storm hit, my mom kind of had this like, we have to leave. Of course, like on the news, there was like the mayor saying, this is serious, like you guys need to go. This is a very strong hurricane. It's not anything to play around with. Like, this is not safe. And my mom, having 4, 5 kids at the time, she said, we have to go. And we left. I didn't find out I knew my home was completely destroyed because of course it was along the Mississippi River. There's no way that my house was gonna stay standing. And it was like, all the houses around were made of brick, but ours was just made of I'm not really sure, just normal, nothing sturdy enough to where it won't blow away. So it was my sophomore year in high school when we went back and we drove down the street, and it was the first time like I saw like all the houses completely destroyed. That wasn't even like the saddest part. Like the saddest part about going back was seeing the number of people on the house that died. So I'm sorry. So if my friends were like lived there in that house and it said 5 people died and 5 people lived in there, it was apparent like, wow, they died. So it was kind of just like a very eye-opening moment that life is so short and like anyone can be taken at any time. So how we ended up in Auburn was my mom went to the FEMA tent place coordinator, and there was a lady that was standing in front of her, and the people offered. They said, there's a place in Nebraska that is like offering to pay your rent for 6 months, give you a house to live in, giving you a car, giving you like the supplies you need to get back on your feet. And she goes, Nebraska, is that even in this country? And so she was like, I am not going to Nebraska. She said, absolutely not, and like walked out the line. And my mom overheard, so she walked up and said, well, I have 5 kids, so I will definitely go to Nebraska. And when she told us, we were like, what and where is that? She said, I don't know, but we're going. So that's how we ended up here in Auburn, Nebraska. So when we first moved to Auburn, this is the first house that we lived in. They provided us this house, a car, and they had it fully stocked. We lived here for 4 years before we got a house. It's like literally like right down the street though, so it's not really far. It's a cute little cottage, but this is where it all started. Hi. I think this is the most beautiful track I've ever seen, literally. Look how wonderful it is. On this runway, it was the first time I broke the Class B record, 19.6, into this pit down here of this lovely grass. But it was probably one of the coolest moments. I had all my family was there, my coaches, my friends, and there was people just like lined up along this fence, and everyone was just going crazy. It was just pretty awesome. I first realized that college was possible when I started to do well in track. And I also knew that was the only way I was gonna be able to go to college, because my family could not afford it, and I knew if I didn't get some sort of scholarship, or if I didn't get some sort of academic scholarship, it wasn't gonna be possible for me. But I first knew when I was really good at track, I was like, wow, people get scholarships for doing this. And I was like, well, you need to do this and you need to be good at it so you can get a scholarship. So it was my junior year when I first started to take it like super seriously. I was like, this is your only way. This is your only way out, and to make a better life for yourself, and to make a better life for your siblings as well, to be an example, to show them this is not how life has to be. My first coach was Keckley, and I was a 400 runner when I first started running, and I quickly realized that was not the event for me. And I was like, I can't do this, I have to find a new event. And then that's when I found long jump and triple jump. And he was my coach for 2 years, and then I had Ben Ideas. And he kind of really changed my whole life. And there was a moment when I was complaining, I was like, I don't want to do this. And he looked at me and said, okay, and walked away. And that is when I realized, like, in life, you have to make the choice to be successful. You cannot depend on anyone else. I thrived off of him being like, no, come on. But that one day he said, okay, and walked away. And that was the moment I made the choice to work hard.
Tierra had shown real good athleticism in high school. We were aware of the background situation that she came out of, which of course was really difficult. And so right off the bat, if you have someone like that that's coming out of that type of situation and they're doing well academically and athletically, you have to kind of guess that you got a pretty strong personality person there that wants to excel in all those things.
Nebraska was the first person I got recruited by, and I really didn't even look at other options. I was like, wow, this is my home state. This place gave me everything. It gave me a second chance. Why would I not go to college at Nebraska? It meant a lot to me that I actually even had an option to go to college, because many people where I come from, you don't get that option. When I was named Student Athlete of the Year, it was the most breathtaking moment for me in my whole entire life. I got on stage and I actually had no words, because I began to cry, because it was like everything I ever went through, all my struggles, every corner telling me I can't, or you won't, or not even, at one point I didn't even have the option to be standing there, and here I am standing on stage being named Student Athlete of the Year. It was a moment you cannot really describe. It was like, wow, you did this, you made it, Tierra. Like, you did this for yourself. And it was just, I had no words. I just cried. I still don't have words. It's just like a feeling it's unexplainable to think, I did this. My proudest accomplishment today is the fact that I never gave up on myself, because all these awards, they go away. People forget those, but something I can never forget is the fact that I persevered and I did not give up on myself, and I had faith, and I succeeded.